Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome. This is Jamia TV. My name is Kasim Mustafa and this is Health is Wealth. In studio today, I'm joined by Dr. Batul Ghulam Hussein, who will talk about hypertension. The question that very many people are asking themselves is, can a patient having hypertension fast safely? Daktari, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome, and I know our viewers back at home know you already. A doctor with experience, over 10 years of experience, ladies and gentlemen. So she'll tell us about hypertension. Can a patient with hypertension fast safely? Daktari, that is the first question that I should pose. But before that, introduce yourself and answer us that question.
All right. Thank you, Kasim Mustafa. My name is Dr. Batul Ghulam Hussein. And as he has rightly said, I've been working for 10 years as a doctor. Majority of the time I've been with AR Healthcare. I work at the City Center Outpatient Center, which is on Jacquard Tower, 6th floor. And high blood pressure, we can maybe start with the definition first.
Yes,
yeah?
Yes.
So basically,
yes,
it's
sure.
the force of the pressure, rather, exerted on the blood vessels or the arteries of the blood vessels. Yeah. And yes, a person who is hypertensive can safely fast.
Okay.
Of course, with conditions, they should not be having comorbidities which have stopped them from fasting. And when we talk about comorbidities, we talk about kidney disease, we're talking about heart problems. Because hypertension and heart problems are very much linked.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's something called hypertensive heart disease.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So such a patient, or if they're not well controlled, then that person should not fast. Yeah. As long as they're on medication and their treatment has been approved by their physician, they are good to fast.
Mashallah. How should blood pressure medication timing be observed or be managed, especially during this month of Ramadan?
So most patients are usually on only one medication,
Okay.
and such a person could probably take it at suhoor, yeah, or they can take it at night. So those who are on maybe a 2-time regime, then it will be suhoor and iftar.
Okay, mashallah, mashallah. Maybe people might ask, because we always want to talk about hypertension, but there is someone who is not hypertensive but have adapted to symptoms and signs of hypertension. How can someone know that he or she is hypertensive? So
that's very difficult, because majority of the hypertensives who walk into our clinic are coincidentally diagnosed. And most patients don't like it. You know, the first stop when you come to a clinic is at the nurses.
Okay.
And BP, checking the BP is one of the vital signs.
Okay.
Just the same way they'll measure your temperature, they'll measure your heart rate, the breathing rate. BP is a vital sign.
Okay.
And majority of the time it's incidental, and you suddenly find the BP is that the patient has no idea, no symptoms. But there are a few cases whereby there are symptoms, and the most commonest is headache. Now, you know, headache can be a very wide topic. You can sit and talk about headache for hours, because there's so many causes of headache.
Yes.
Yeah, but high blood pressure is one of them.
Okay.
All right, dizziness,
Okay.
extreme fatigue. Those are the classical three. Fatigue, which you cannot explain, you're just feeling tired all the time, you wake up, you sleep well, you eat well, you do everything right, but you're just feeling tired. Yeah. So fatigue is very common, and then now dizziness. Yeah.
Okay.
You actually, most patients describe it as, I'm walking and I feel like nasukumwa na nyuma, ama nitaanguka.
Yes.
That is usually the classical sign. Also constant, yeah, they are always taking painkillers on and off, so it's very important that you measure the BP. If there is a problem, then we usually don't start patients on medication immediately, by the way. We usually give them a chance to monitor. If there is stress in their life, we give them a chance to try and see if we can sort it out through counseling. If they are in the pre-hypertensive stage, then we also give them a chance with the nutritionist, you know, work on your weight, work on your lifestyle, your diet, yeah, so that you can try and manage it. Yeah. So when it comes to high blood pressure giving you complications, then again there's a whole wide range of complications which come with high blood pressure. Yeah.
Maybe what are these causes of high blood pressure?
So the most commonest cause of high blood pressure is our diet, and when it comes to diet, there is something classical, a high salt diet.
Okay.
And this is the message to all hypertensives, that even in Ramadan, during iftar, don't take something very salty.
Okay.
Yeah, too much salt is going to now cause dehydration.
Okay.
You know, it's like saying chumvi huvuta maji. So now there is fluid retention. When that happens, you're already hungry. You've already fasted the whole day.
Okay.
So now you cause more impact and strain on the heart. That's one cause, increased salt in your diet.
Okay.
Number two is someone who smokes. Yeah, smoking is one of the commonest causes of high blood pressure. Yeah, the content in the nicotine and the cigarettes, and it doesn't matter, even e-cigarettes also. Yeah, they also play a role in developing high blood pressure. Physical inactivity.
Okay.
So again, exercise, and we keep talking about exercise. It's very important that you find at least 30 minutes out of your busy day. 30 minutes, yeah, just to make sure you do some kind of activity, yeah, physical strenuous activity, yeah. For the elderly patients, we recommend walking, but walking burns the least amount of calories.
Okay.
Yeah, so something which can, like we had talked about earlier, makes you sweat, increases your heart rate, increases your breathing rate. Yeah. That's the ideal which is recommended. Okay. Then again, heredity causes. It can run in the family.
Yes.
Yeah. And then age. As you age, your blood vessels also now lose their elasticity, and most patients develop high blood pressure. Yeah. But of course now the most significant are salt, smoking, yeah, and physical inactivity. Yeah.
What impact, whether positive impact or negative impact, does hypertension have to a patient with a heart problem?
So of course there is no positive impact. It's all negative.
Yes.
The impact it has, and I will take you back to your previous question, what also causes high blood pressure is high cholesterol.
Okay.
So someone who takes a diet which is very rich in fatty food, too much of eggs. You know, eggs, the yolk is full of cholesterol.
Okay.
Yeah. Too much of red meat. Nyama ya mbuzi, nyama ya ng'ombe. Yeah. Eat white meat. Go for fish. Go for chicken. It's much healthy. People who like fried foods. So now, you know, Ramadan is coming. Samosas, sausages, what else? There's so many things which are sold out here. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
But if they're fried, they absorb a lot. They have a lot of oil in it. Okay. Yeah. So all that can cause your cholesterol to go high. And even in cholesterol, we have types of cholesterol. We have the good cholesterol, the bad cholesterol. So foods like avocado have good cholesterol. Okay. And they help because cholesterol is also needed for the body and function, right? But the bad cholesterol is now what goes and deposits on the vessels of the heart. Okay. Now, it will start slowly. You see, this is the pipe. Itaanza kidogo, kidogo. And then after a while, if the pressure of the blood is so high and not controlled, a piece can break off, go to the brain, cause a stroke, or it can cause a heart attack. Okay. Yeah, so those being the two major complications of high blood pressure, including kidney damage. Yeah. Those are the major organs the body relies on, yeah, and if you get damage to those three, then now that becomes a problem. Yeah. Okay.
Avocado is a good cholesterol.
Yes.
And fatty food is a bad cholesterol. That is according to you and the way you said it. Now I want you to help us understand types of foods that someone should avoid, especially during this holy month of Ramadan, that someone should avoid in order for him or her to live a better life as someone affected by hypertension, or someone who is trying to protect themselves from getting hypertension. Anasema kinga ni bora kuliko tiba. So we want to help those people have kinga how do you kinga yourself? Unajikingaje kutokana na huu ugonjwa wa hypertension ama high blood pressure? So daktari, you tell us about that.
So we go back to the causative factors and a high salt diet. Okay. So when food is brought on the table, avoid adding salt on top.
Okay.
Remember, when it is being cooked, tayari pishi ya shaweka.
Okay.
Yeah. So don't add on top of that.
What if asahau kwa jikoni kuweka?
Then you can add a small amount in moderation. Okay. Yeah. But generally reduce your salt intake. Okay. Number 2, during iftar, avoid very fatty food, fried foods. And even if you must eat, then one samosa to 2 samosas. Now it's usually very emotional and very hard to control after a long day of fasting.
Yes.
Yeah, but you see, what will end up happening is you start also feeling very bloated when you take these fatty foods. Leave alone the unhealthy bit, but the bloating.
Yes.
Dairy products are also very rich in cholesterol.
Okay.
And when we talk about dairy products, we are talking about foods made with milk. Now you see, now in Ramadan there is a lot of sweet delicacies.
Yes.
And most of them are made with white flour.
Yes.
They're made with a lot of sugar and they're made with milk. Yeah. And most 90%. Of the time, for those chefs, to make it even more tasty, they put evaporated milk or condensed milk, which now makes it even more rich and creamy. Okay. But very calorie dense. Yeah, very rich in cholesterol. Which now actually becomes a problem. Yeah. So we tend to advise patients to avoid that. Foods like dairy products like butter, ghee, cheese. Yeah, very rich in cholesterol. So you have to be very careful. But my rule in life is everything in moderation. Okay. If you're not hypertensive, then live your life on moderation. Okay. Yeah.
For someone like me, ambaye tumezoea mayai ya kugonga. Tunagonga mayai, tunagonga kama 3-4 hivi. So you talked about eggs as one of the meals with high cholesterol. We'll talk about that when we come back, because in our rural areas, especially the up countries, very many people use fatty foods. We have those mafuta ya kukata, wanasema mafuta ya kukata, mafuta ya box. We will come back with more about this, and remember, we are here only to help you live a better life. You can never have a better life if you don't have a better health. So keep tuning on Jamia TV. We will be right back. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome back. This is the second segment of our show, talking about health is wealth. And in studio, I'm joined by Dr. Batul, who is talking about hypertension. Before we took a very short break, I asked a very serious question. For those of us who eat at least 3 eggs, 4 eggs a day, we are likely to have or to experience high rate of cholesterol. Why? That one will be answered by Dr. Batul within a very short while, inshallah. Again, there is those people who live up country, and the only source of their cooking oil or cooking is cooking fat. We have that mafuta ile ya kukatakata. So daktari, karibu and tell us about those people, those of us who eat a lot of eggs. What might be the possible solutions for us, kwa sababu we eat eggs and we are likely to experience high cholesterol and increase high cholesterol in the body. So tufanyaje?
So if you're not suffering from any chronic health issue, then the ideal egg intake is 2 eggs in a week. 2
eggs in a week?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the ideal intake, all right? And if possible, use boiling as a better cooking method as opposed to frying.
Okay.
Which leads me to your other question where you mentioned what type of cooking oil to use, yeah? And we really recommend seed oils, or rather the sunflower or vegetable cooking oils, because they are actually much safer. Even olive oil, yeah? Olive oil is usually very widely talked about. Much healthier than those using animal fat. Yeah, animal fat at any cost is not healthy.
Okay.
Ghee, butter, not the way to go. If you can use, in fact, even when you go to the supermarket and when you're buying the oil, you'll see a label on the, or a heart drawn or at the corner where they're saying cholesterol free or heart friendly or heart healthy, something like that, yeah. So those ones are much better cooking options.
Okay.
So for those of you who like eating eggs, sorry to spoil the eggs for you, but it is 2 eggs per week and preferably if boiled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cholesterol na mayai ni kitu moja. Yani cholesterol is rich in eggs.
The yolk, the yellow.
The yolk
yes.
is rich in high cholesterol.
Yes.
So
not the good type,
yes,
the bad type.
Yes. So what other foods contain high cholesterol?
Red meat.
Okay.
Okay. Goat meat, beef, yeah, is very rich in bad type of cholesterol. I already mentioned butter, cheese. Cheese, again, too much of milk products, yeah, they are also very fatty with LDL, cholesterol. And avocado, on the other hand, we said has good cholesterol in it, yeah. So basically, when it comes to foods, we categorize it as those with bad cholesterol, dairy products, yeah, eggs, red meat, and fried foods.
Yeah. Okay, we have those people again. Go back. Those of us who like eating marrow, we call it, yes, bone marrow. Bone marrow is rich in a lot of fat. Is it still, does it mean it's cholesterol?
Yes, to some degree, but it's one of the, it's usually a very small amount. I don't think you can get it in very large amounts per se. Yeah, so again, I go back to everything in life in moderation, yeah, and there'll be no harm.
For those people now having heart conditions, what types of, or what is the way forward for them to protect themselves from being hypertensive?
People who already have a heart condition are very likely having high blood pressure.
Okay.
But of course, it's not entirely true because there are some heart conditions like just rhythm abnormalities. You may have heard of people, they feel like their heart is not beating regularly. Okay, or they have a valve stenosis. So remember, the heart has 4 chambers and there are valves, yeah, and these valves can actually sometimes get damaged, yeah, and somehow you find that they may or may not have high blood pressure. But now such patients, number one, have to be very careful in fasting. They may not be able to fast, especially if they are not stable. Number two, how can they prevent themselves? Their diet has to be very strictly moderated. They should probably be on entirely white meat, yeah, boiled foods, yeah. Even when they take some, the breakfast, you have to be very careful you don't give them very cholesterol dense, like you see now, butter and all that, that has to be taken care of. Too much of oily foods, the curries, curries sometimes you can end up putting too much oil in it, is not healthy for them. So for them, you will entirely, your cooking method is mainly about boiling. Their food is also a bit bland. Their food is bland because they're reducing their salt. Remember initially when we started talking about high blood pressure, we talked about salt and the relationship with high blood pressure. So salt intake has to be down. They also need to avoid stress. Because stress and high blood pressure, there is a linkage. There is a linkage, and same goes for diabetes also. That stress can actually spike your BP or your blood sugar, especially sustained stress. Maybe you're worried about someone, something, finances, what. That can now also, you might be doing everything right. You're taking care of your diet, you're taking care of exercise, but the fact that your mental health is not well taken care of can actually cause discrepancies in your control.
Now we talk about the warning signs of potential heart attack during Ramadan. What might be the most warning signs? This one might be having a hypertension.
Might be having a heart attack,
Yes, might be having a heart attack.
So basically, the signs of a heart attack do not change per se, whether in Ramadan or not. Basically, chest pain is the classical symptom, and patients usually will describe it as a crushing kind of pain. You actually, and it's on the left side, you actually feel like it's kind of crushing you, you're not able to breathe, you start breaking out into a sweat, and the pain is classically radiates down the arm, or it can go up the jaw. Now, one of the things which we have found very disturbing is how chest pain sometimes gets missed and confused with acidity issues. And my message to the audience is, if you are experiencing a lot of acidity issues or gas issues, get it checked out. Make sure you have actually done your checkup and you know which is which. Because very many times we've seen patients who actually present with pain which is in the center of the chest, but then it eventually turns out to be a heart attack. So it's very important to check out for those things. So crushing chest pain, radiating chest pain, difficulty breathing, difficulty talking now, and then breaking out into a sweat, those are signs of impending heart attack.
At what time is it advisable for someone who is hypertensive advised not to fast?
A hypertensive sometimes may not be able to fast, especially if they're having complications. Now, hypertensive with heart disease, maybe they've had surgery, open heart surgery or a bypass, within around 3 to 6 months or even up to a year, not advisable, not advisable. Let them recuperate, because those are major surgeries. Valve repair, surgeries which include also, or rather heart conditions of abnormal heart rhythms. Even such patients are usually advised not to fast, so that otherwise the control can be done. Patients who are on treatment which is 3 times a day, such a patient should not fast. Patients who require a very high fluid intake, because remember, in high blood pressure, one of the things we tell patients, apart from not eating too much salt during iftar, or rather salty food, make sure you hydrate. Dehydration and high blood pressure have a relationship.
Have something in common.
Because you see, what will happen is it eventually puts a strain on the heart. If you take too much salt, it pulls the water, there's fluid retention, which now causes a strain on the heart. And remember, you've not been drinking water the whole day. So at least 2 to 3 liters of water after iftar, space it out. You don't have to drink it all at a go. Many patients sometimes feel that, okay, Dr. has told me I need to drink water, I need to drink at least 2 liters. So between, the time is usually short. Yeah, so they feel like I need to make sure I drink this all at a go, but space it out.
Okay.
1 hour, after 1.5 hours, another glass, you know. So you can actually do 5 glasses after iftar, and then during suhoor, another, you know, 3,
Yes.
4. Makes a difference. At
Yes,
least you get
yes,
to 8
absolutely.
glasses of water a day.
Okay, mashallah. You talked about dehydration and hypertension having a very common relationship. Now I want to understand, does hypertension have any other relationship with other chronic illness?
Yes. Diabetes and high blood pressure, we call it a chicken and egg story. You don't know which one came first,
Okay.
because the risk factors are the same.
Okay.
If you look at the causes of diabetes and the causes of high blood pressure, age, hereditary, diet, alcohol or smoking, yeah. We talk about physical inactivity, family history, they are all the same. And many of the times you will notice that someone who either starts off as a hypertensive, if they don't take care of their lifestyle, in 4 to 5 years they may develop diabetes as well. Yeah, and many are diagnosed with both together at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, so yes, there is a relationship. And other diseases, we also talk about obesity. Obesity is also a risk, it's a chronic disease. Gout,
Okay.
yeah, those are all also interlinked, but the main relationship is high blood pressure diabetes.
Mashallah, mashallah. Thank you so much. I have a lot to ask, but now time is really not on our side, and I think I'll still add you 2 minutes. We talk about 2 other serious issues, because we cannot talk about hypertension without giving them the solution. That is 1. And 2, we cannot talk about hypertension without knowing if it's curable or not curable. So you talk about how curable is hypertension.
So number 1, it is managed.
Okay,
yeah, it's
manageable.
not cured.
Okay.
If you're in the pre-hypertensive stage, meaning you are still borderline,
Okay.
yeah, then you can actually do lifestyle changes, get into exercise, reduce your weight, cut down your diet, which is, you know, maybe high in salt and all the things we talked about.
Yes.
Then that will actually help.
Okay.
You can actually go back. Yeah. But the main solution is medication. Again, medications for life, yeah, which is also a heavy thing to digest.
Indeed.
Yeah. Your second question?
My second question is, what might be the possible solution now that you said medication? Is there any other possible solution?
Lifestyle changes.
Lifestyle
changes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because time is really not on our side, and we've already used much of our time. I'll give you another minute to send your parting shot maybe to our viewers back at home. What do you exactly have to tell them, especially the patients having hypertension?
I think I would say that don't underestimate a symptom. Even if it is as simple as a headache, get it checked out.
Okay.
Many of the patients whom I encountered during my internship did not have access to the knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah, and mostly you would find them coming in when it's too late, when they've already had a heart attack or they've already suffered a stroke. So please regularly measure your BP, or at least once a year when you come to the hospital, or for any other reason. Yeah, even if it doesn't not out of sickness, but even generally, do a wellness checkup and make sure that BP is checked. And if your doctor advises you need to monitor the BP, then please do so, because it's one of the vital signs. And when we don't monitor and you feel like you don't have symptoms, therefore, you know, this cannot be your reality, is where the worry comes in. Yeah. So don't underestimate a symptom.
MashaAllah. Thank you so much, Dr. Ari. It was a pleasure having you here, and we look forward seeing you again and again in our studios. And I hope our viewers back at home have learned a lot.
Thank you.
Personally, I've come to understand exactly what hypertension means, how to control hypertension, being how do we put it, eggaholic, or I eat a lot of eggs. So being one of the people who eat a lot of eggs, I've also learned about it You should never underestimate any symptom, ladies and gentlemen. That is it for today. It was all about hypertension, and I hope you learned, enjoyed, and we look forward to seeing you in our next episodes. Until next time, my name is Kasim Mustafa. Ma'asalam.
Ooh.